For 900 years, the War of Xenao had continued. Very few people who remember the beginning of this divine battle were left alive. It was becoming increasingly clear that those currently fighting would not live to see the end of this war. Some accepted this, willing to die for their god. Others denied it, insisting victory was within reach, but a small group decided to take matters into their own hands. They wouldn't end the bloodshed by letting one side claim the realm, but by killing a god. Amongst Hetrana's top ranks were a group of infiltrators trying to take it down from the inside. Some joined with the intention of betrayal, others were converted, but all 5 shared a common goal. Tel and Hid were brothers, 2 golems with incredible strength. They were frontline in countless battles and always made it back alive. Both were loyal to their god before their sister was exiled for heresy. In losing a sister, they gained perspective and turned against the empire they risked their lives to protect. Thyden was a Gorth from the realm Zinvabar. Blessed by the god of isolation, she could command icy storms and combat an army of angels all by herself. However, she knew her time on Hetrana's army was limited, and was ready to betray it before it betrayed her. Nakim was a Numk, sent to be a spy for Trahana. He was spotted by the infiltrators and invited to become one of them. While lacking the magic or strength of the others, his stealth and wit made him a valued asset of the team, although unlike the rest of them, Nakim remained loyal to one side of the war. Finally was Rake, a Fae who watched the endless war slowly destroy his forest. In response, she founded the secret coup in order to defeat the army from the inside. His strange powers and natural deceit allowed her to climb Hetrana's ranks and get a chance at revenge. Together, the 5 worked in secret to sabotage Hetrana's army, but never letting Trahana gain too much ground. That was until they went to act on the final step of their plan. Tel and Hid had received blessings from their god, gifting them enough strength to move mountains. Blessing a follower requires a god giving part of itself, so Hetrana giving 2 at once meant it was vulnerable. Their biggest advantage, however, was not this, but the deal between the gods. Trahana and Hetrana made a deal that they could not directly harm mortals of this realm until the war ended, leaving it powerless without an army. Or so they thought. After luring their target into position, Tel and Hid used their divine strength to restrain the god. Thyden was the main attacker, condensing the icy storm to do as much harm as possible. Rake summoned every soul she owned, sending them to attack. Meanwhile, Nakim watched from the top of the Fae's clock tower, the arena chosen for this encounter. It was his job to ensure everything went to plan, which it unfortunately did not. Even with 3 blessed warriors, even with the deity at its weakest, even with the home field advantage, they were no match for a god. Furious at the betrayal, the god of war and destruction would invoke its wrath. They quickly lost the advantage of surprise, and once the golems inevitably lost grip of the otherworldly body, they were now unable to land a single blow. It couldn't kill them, but Hetrana could use the divine power of creation to do something much worse. The 5 traitors felt themselves being pulled towards each other, melting until they became one. The fur of the Numk, the slippery skin of the Gorth, the hard exterior of the golems all began to blend together. The more they pulled against each other, the more their one body felt the pain of their existence. Their mouths were no longer able to speak words. Their minds melted into each other's, not knowing where their thoughts began and their former allies' ended. Each person pulled in different directions, making them unable to move anywhere. Their magic, formerly seen as a blessing, became uncontrollable. The strength of the golems, unequal to the rest of the homunculi, making it hard to move without pain. The powerful blizzards were constant and followed the monster wherever it went, ensuring they would never feel warmth again. The poor souls owned by the Fae were not spared from the punishment. Still tied to their master, they got lost in the blizzard, becoming part of the eternal storm. If you listened closely, you could hear their cries. The storm was uncontrollable, sometimes reaching all throughout Xenao, either in a cold breeze or a destructive force. This monster became known as the Amalgamelt, and its presence became a cautionary tale for standing up against the gods. However, not all hope was lost. Through their pain, a small group of people tried to pick up where the Amalgamelt left off. Led by the daughter of Valder, they are known simply as Birds of a Feather.